And then you just got a whole bunch of, obviously you got great coaching. Then you just got a whole bunch of guys that are unselfish and willing to do whatever it takes to win. Outside looking in. And once you actually get here, it's like, oh, that's really the case. You know what I mean? And even for Don, like unselfish. Even last game in Denver, like the last couple minutes of the game, he just gave me the ball, let me facilitate and do what I do. So you don't really get that, you know what I mean, from superstars in this league. And so that right there gave me the open welcome to, hey, you just have as much as freedom as we both have the same freedom, if that makes sense. But
hello guys, welcome back to TFD with Alvo. James Harden's second game as a Cleveland Cavalier felt different. Not just because it came on the road in Denver, not just because Evan Mobley was out, not even because the opponent was the same Nuggets team that sent Harden home in a brutal Game 7 last postseason, a game where he scored just 7 points and barely made a ripple. It felt different, because this time, when the moment arrived, Harden didn't disappear. He finished with 22 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks. With 32 seconds left and the Cavs down 3, he calmly stepped into a game-tying three-pointer that silenced Ball Arena. Cleveland went on to win 119-117. 2 games in, and suddenly the trade that looked reckless didn't look so reckless anymore. Because, let's be honest, when the Cavaliers traded Darius Garland, the first real building block of their rebuild, for a 36-year-old James Harden, the reaction around the league was immediate. Confusion, skepticism, outrage. Garland wasn't just another player. He was drafted 5th overall in 2019. He became an all-star before Donovan Mitchell ever put on a Cavs jersey. He was the bridge between post-LeBron irrelevance and legitimate contention. Through the growing pains, the lottery seasons, the slow climb back, Garland was there. And Cleveland moved him for a veteran on his 6th team in 17 seasons. On the surface, it looked like desperation. But this wasn't desperation. It was a deadline. Not the trade deadline, a different kind of deadline. The Donovan Mitchell clock. That contract situation is the shadow hanging over everything in Cleveland. He's expressed love for the city. He's embraced the fan base. But stars at his level don't just want comfort. They want championships. And if the Cavaliers had entered another postseason with the same flaws, the same structural weaknesses, and another early exit, the questions about his long-term future would have grown louder. The Cavs front office knew that. They also knew something else. The Garland-Mitchell pairing had plateaued. In the regular season, it worked. It generated wins. It generated highlights. The offense hummed. But every year, when the playoffs slowed down and matchups tightened, the same issues surfaced. Size, defense, physicality. 2 guards under 6'3" sharing the backcourt in a league increasingly dominated by jumbo creators and switch-heavy defenses created real limitations. It wasn't just theoretical. The numbers backed it up. Last season, when Garland was on the floor, Cleveland posted a plus 9.9 net rating across meaningful minutes. That's strong. The offense was elite. The defense was solid enough. But when Garland sat, something surprising happened. The net rating jumped to plus 12. The offense dipped slightly, but the defense took off. They were over 7 points per 100 possessions better defensively without him. With Mitchell alone, even better. This season, things got uglier. In over 500 minutes, Cleveland posted a 118 defensive rating with Garland on the floor and were outscored by 3 points per 100 possessions. Among rotation players, it was the worst mark on the team. The eye test matched the data. Teams hunted him. Bigger guards posted him. Wings shot over him. In the playoffs, it became a pressure point. And availability didn't help. Garland's injury history isn't minor. Ankle issues, back problems, hamstrings, a fractured jaw that required surgery and forced him onto a liquid-only diet. Even in his healthiest season, a toe injury lingered into the postseason and flared up again. The Cavs weren't just evaluating talent, they were evaluating sustainability. When the front office conducted what insiders described as an unemotional, no-excuses assessment, the conclusion was clear. As good as Garland was, the ceiling of this specific version of the Cavs might already have been reached. So they pivoted, and that pivot was James Harden. At 36 years old, Harden is no longer the Houston MVP machine averaging 36 points per game. He's not the isolation-heavy scoring champion who bent defenses into impossible shapes every possession. But he is still productive. This season, he's averaging 25.4 points and 8.1 assists. He earned all NBA honors last year. He received MVP votes. He played 79 games last season and was available nearly every night before the trade. Availability matters more than ever. And size matters too. At 6'5", 220 pounds, Harden instantly changes Cleveland's backcourt math. He's not an elite defender, but he's strong. He can switch on to wings in a pinch. He can absorb contact. He won't be physically overwhelmed in postseason matchups the way smaller guards often are. But the biggest difference isn't defense, it's pressure. For much of this season, Cleveland's offense leaned heavily on Donovan Mitchell. When he sat, things stalled. Without a consistent downhill threat, the offense drifted side to side. Too many pull-up threes, not enough rim attacks. The Cavs ranked middle of the pack in attempts at the rim. Harden fixes that immediately. He still ranks among the leaders in drives per game. He still finishes efficiently at the basket. He still manipulates defenders with pace, strength, and timing. That ability to collapse the defense changes everything for Cleveland's bigs. Jarrett Allen is already benefiting. Evan Mobley, when healthy, will benefit even more. And then there's the pick and roll. For over a decade, Harden has been one of the most precise pick-and-roll operators in basketball. His timing, his patience, his ability to read traps and deliver the ball at the exact right moment, it's surgical. In his Cavs debut, the box score showed 23 points and 8 assists. What it didn't show were the countless right decisions, the pocket passes, the skip-outs, the calmness under pressure. Against Denver, in a hostile environment without Mobley, that orchestration continued. The Cavs didn't panic. They didn't rush. They executed. And that game-tying three? That was more than just a shot. It was a message. Because if there's one thing that follows James Harden everywhere, it's playoff doubt. His critics are loud, and they're not wrong. The Game 7 numbers are brutal. Since 2020, in 4 Game 7 appearances, Harden has averaged under 14 points on 27% shooting and 16% from 3, across multiple teams, across different systems. Elimination games have too often ended with Harden fading instead of rising. That history doesn't disappear because of 2 regular season wins. But context matters.
In Houston, he had to be the alpha every single night. In Brooklyn, health derailed what could have been a dynasty. In Philadelphia and Los Angeles, injuries and timing never aligned. In Cleveland, the dynamic is different. Donovan Mitchell is the closer. That matters. Mitchell has proven he can explode in playoff moments. He can take over fourth quarters. He can carry scoring burdens in ways Harden at this stage doesn't have to. Harden's role isn't to be 2018 Harden. It's to be organizer, stabilizer, pressure creator. And that distinction might save Cleveland. Cavs president Kobe Altman acknowledged Harden's elimination game struggles openly, but he also emphasized something important. Harden won't be the lone number 1 option here. That changes expectations. It also changes the way defenses approach Cleveland. With Garland and Mitchell, opponents felt comfortable sending aggressive doubles at Mitchell late in games. They trusted that Cleveland's secondary creation wouldn't consistently punish them. With Harden on the floor, that calculus shifts. Double Mitchell? Harden will dissect you. Double Harden? Mitchell will feast. Stay home? You're guarding 2 elite creators one-on-one. That's a different problem. Stylistically, there will be adjustments. Kenny Atkinson's system emphasizes movement, flow, and transition. Harden has historically thrived in slower, methodical offenses. There will need to be compromise. But Harden has adapted before. He coexisted with Chris Paul. He shared the floor with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. He adjusted in Philadelphia next to Joel Embiid. High IQ players find middle ground. And early reports suggest Mitchell and Harden are aligned. They spoke extensively before the deal was finalized. Both wanted it. That buy-in is critical. Cleveland didn't stop with Harden either. They reshaped the bench. Dennis Schroeder brings scoring punch and international winning pedigree. He's been traded multiple times, but his ability to run a second unit and inject pace is real. He can get downhill. He can create in late clock situations. He gives Cleveland stability when one of the stars sits. Keon Ellis adds something the Cavs badly needed: perimeter defense. His steal and block rates are elite for a wing. He disrupts, he pressures, and he can space the floor. Depth matters in the playoffs. Flexibility matters even more. The Eastern Conference is wide open. No dominant super team casting a shadow. No unbeatable juggernaut blocking the path. Cleveland saw an opening, and instead of waiting, they attacked it. Yes, it's a gamble. Harden is 36. History suggests smaller windows at that age, and the playoff ghosts won't vanish until he proves they should. But doing nothing would have been a gamble too. Running it back, hoping internal growth fixes structural flaws, that's a bet as well. And after 3 straight postseason disappointments, Cleveland decided hope wasn't enough. They chose urgency. They chose pressure. They chose now. The trade is a declaration. The Cavaliers are done being patient. They are done collecting almost seasons. They are done building slowly. They are trying to win a championship. Whether this works or fails, one thing is certain: everything just changed in Cleveland. The regular season will tell part of the story. Chemistry will develop. Roles will solidify. The offense will evolve around Harden's pick-and-roll gravity and Mitchell's scoring bursts. But the real verdict will come in May, when the pace slows, when the scouting sharpens, when the pressure mounts. That's when we'll find out if this version of James Harden is different. That's when we'll see if Donovan Mitchell can be the postseason closer Cleveland needs. And that's when we'll know if trading the foundation of the rebuild for a 36-year-old star was visionary or reckless. For now, though, 2 games in, on the road in Denver, with the game on the line and the ghosts of a Game 7 hanging in the air, James Harden stepped into a 3, and it fell.
Maybe that's how new chapters begin. Tell me what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon.
Donovan Mitchell said right now this team is hooping on 5.
Yep.
Do you agree with him? And how do you, it's only been 3 games, so small sample size, but how have you managed to fit in so seamlessly?
Definitely vibes. Definitely good energy. Definitely communicating and just talking about the things that's important. You know what I mean? Like I told them, I'll figure it out. You know, like just, you know, we'll do some adjusting, you know, with each other. But for the most part, y'all play with y'all and do what y'all been doing, and I'll you know, find my way. And you know, they've been doing that. You know what I mean? So even tonight, like, you know, I shoot 4 shots, but we win by 25 points. That's the most important thing. And you know, Sam gets it going, and I'm just here to win. So whatever that looks like, if I got to go out there and score a lot of points, or I got to take 4 shots and we win, that's the most important thing for me. And tonight was one of those, you know, one of those examples.